looking at cryptocurrencies in Australia once again. The first question I have for you is, would you pay $13,000 for a picture of this fella? Well, somebody has. Who is he and why would you pay $13,000? This is Senator Andrew Bragg, a Liberal politician in the current Australian government. So last night, a non-fungible token of Senator Bragg sold for almost $13,000. The NFT was created in collaboration with a well-known artist, writer, angel investor and creative director, Joan Westenberg. The token was listed on global NFT platform OpenSea as part of a wider campaign by the Senator to publicly support the Australian cryptocurrency community. After bidding closed last night, the NFT sold for 2.9 ETH, roughly $13,000 Australian. So what is it about this politician, this fella here, that people would want to pay $13,000 for an NFT portrait of him? Let's have a bit of a closer look at Senator Andrew Bragg. Senator Bragg is the chair of the Select Committee on Australia as a technology and financial centre. So in terms of cryptocurrency, blockchain, NFT adoption, within Australia, Senator Bragg is the government's right-hand man, and he's leading the way in deciding how Australia can become a digital technology powerhouse. He made an address at Blockchain Week 2022. In April, the committee that he chairs was reconstituted as a Select Committee on Australia as a technology and financial centre under revised terms of reference. So they've updated the terms of reference to be more in step with the fast-moving crypto blockchain NFT space. He says the government has committed to, by mid-2022, complete consultation on licensing of crypto markets, finalise consultation on the custody regime, receive advice from the Council of Financial Regulators on the causes and policy responses to debanking. So he calls it debanking. So they've instructed the tax department to have a close look at how the taxation system will work with them, completing a token mapping exercise, explaining different tokens and how they will be assessed and taxed, and examine the potential of a DAO and how that can be incorporated in the legal and financial frameworks of Australia. He says this is a substantial and complex body of work. Implementation will be key. And even though Senator Andrew Bragg has not been in the political spotlight for too long, he's certainly making his presence felt. He says the technology represents the most significant reforms to our payment system in 25 years. So he sees the importance of the digital economy. The committee he chairs is also looking at changes to the Australian Digital Services Act, looking to protect consumers and the public against malicious operators. So he's taking a holistic approach to digital currencies and cryptocurrencies in Australia. He says that decentralised autonomous organisations can replace companies. That's self-running organisations where the members of the DAO control the decisions and the working of that organisation. He says it might be the most significant development since the first joint stock companies were floated on the Amsterdam Stock Exchange in 1602. When looking at tax reforms, he says, tax reform is hard. The last major tax reform, introducing the GST, took nearly 20 years. Generations of politicians were defeated in the attempt. So he's looking to fast track this and get Australia set up as a leader in the digital world economy by the end of 2022. That's a fair task, but he's on the job. And he's looking at mapping digital cryptocurrency tokens. So not just taxing them all at the same rate, but taxing that digital entity in relation to what it does. So it could be a charity token. So if it's a charity token, it wouldn't be right to tax it because you'd be taxing the money being donated to charities. So there's lots of, so he's wide awake to the different types of tokenomics involved and how the tax department and the Australian government will handle it. He says, we don't want to pigeonhole tokens within confined and inflexible categories. And the Board of Taxation will also be looking at initial coin offerings, play-to-earn games, airdrop staking, and the currency state of stablecoins and CBDCs. Well, the Australian government is well on its way. They're already testing their own CBDCs. So if the Australian government is going to have its own CBDCs, central bank digital currency, then the Australian government needs to get the framework, taxation, the whole setup right. So let's have a quick look at what Senator Bragg has to say about his opinion of the current banking sector and what he thinks they need to do.
So basically, the process from my point of view is CFR will release its report. It will suggest some approaches that banks can use. If they fail to address the issue with that softly approach, then we will legislate a new banking structure to resolve the problem, because we can't have a situation where organisations can't get banking services. Yeah.
So that was interesting. Senator Bragg letting the banks know if they don't come to the party and get on board with the government and a new digital economy and start working with organisations and institutions that need their services, then he'll change the legislation. He'll change the rules of engagement. So if they don't want to come on board, he'll make them and he'll drag the banks into the digital economy. They're all looking at how they can integrate into this new digital economy, which everyone can see is coming and coming quickly. The ANZ has already minted its own stable coin, and the Commonwealth Bank of Australia is right at the moment trying to get approval for the activation of their own cryptocurrency services to be offered to the general public. So it's all happening. One of the big things with the digital economy and cryptocurrencies is DeFi. Currently at the moment, there's 100 billion in assets are held in DeFi applications. Fred Eshram, the founder of Coinbase, says, I think we're 0.1% into the development of DeFi. That's deregulated finance. So DeFi is a big part of cryptocurrency and a big part of the new digital economy. The government looking closely at DeFi, and the government is looking at getting extra funding to hire experts to work on this permanently within a dedicated unit of Treasury and a broad principle-based regulation making power delegated by law to a minister. So putting in a minister specifically to deal with the digital economy. Not a regulator, but a responsible minister with authority over the system, as you expect in a democracy. And we'll have another quick look at Senator Bragg's NFT, and yes, it does look a bit like the senator there. $13,000 for this NFT. It must be said, though, that the proceeds of the NFT Senator Bragg is not keeping. That money is going to be used for charitable purposes. So NFTs for charitable purposes and Senator Bragg right behind them. Seems to be a politician in the Liberal government of Australia that is doing good things. There is an election coming soon, but both sides of politics are right behind this. So even if the Liberal Party gets removed and the Labor Party comes in, they're going to continue on with the great work that Senator Andrew Bragg has put in place. The digital economy is coming to Australia and coming this year. Hopefully you've liked this quick discussion on Senator Bragg and the digital economy in Australia, and you found some of it interesting. If so, give us a thumbs up. And to see more content And to see more content on cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, the Australian government and Senator Bragg, please subscribe to the channel. We'll keep you updated. Thanks for listening. That's all for now.